RWANDA together with the president of the RWANDA. The president of RWANDA is Barafinda SEKIKUBO Fred. This is the greatest philosopher, politician, and the greatest grammarian in the world. All the regions and religions must be respected in top gear equally. Islamic holy religion has to be respected in their ways of lifestyle, of existing and eating, singing, putting on, playing, cultural values, and plus development's full rights to education, to mention but a few. In that regard, has also to respect all other religions in regions on to earthly existence and into heavenly existence in harmony. Our greatly loved God shall receive all of us in his heavenly kingdom equally, according to your positive performed deeds before the great God. Big NB, all must be headed and led by only dynamic leaders to peace, never into pieces, in order to be exemplary to the younger ones, ever and ever never to go astray at all in our world societies of today. RWANDA in USA 2 plus all religions in regions must contribute towards building economic, social, and humanitarian infrastructure in all regions and regions without any segregations. Therefore, to fight and denounce financial and GDP embezzlement in Rwanda and elsewhere in the whole entire Africa of ours must be the main agenda in top gear. The major aims of RWANDA under Barafindarization are: 1. To fight and denounce and defeating any kind of new colonization and recolonization of Africa for African natural resources due to natural protection of the promising African future generations of all the times. Therefore, RWANDA is the Rwanda Revolutionary United Democratic Advancers for 200 good many causes. These 200 good many causes shall help all Africans to develop industrially, and all people in Africa must work industrially and industriously, and never to relinquish in 24/7. And all the government co-workers must respect gender and fight bribation and corruption to be our main agenda in human building capacity, to secure everyone's resource and family agendas. The government appointees and the Senate appointees, the parliamentary appointees, must sit together and think worldwide. Otherwise, these Senate appointees and the Diet appointees, the men and ministry appointees, must not sit there to gather resources of the citizens and prepare their future, greatly forgetting the future of the citizens. That one must be the crime in future against humanity and human beings in their well-beings. Therefore, God must make solution and resolution upon these people. And the people must wake up and make checks and balances of why these people do embezzle resources of theirs. This is why democracy has come to quicken the only positive resources and sources of resources. We have resource knowledge, resource assets, and resource of security to produce other extra securities. Therefore, our main agenda, we the rulers, are to remove all African internal borders which were created by unknown people who were the visitors, and we have the leaders in Africa who are still practicing this crime against others. Why you fellow African leaders do create the internal barriers upon citizens? Why do you resist to change when change comes? If you don't want to change, the forces of change will force you to change. Forming United States of Africa too is our main agenda. Therefore, every politician in Africa must be aware of that. Just join the race in a single file move towards our high science and technology in the quickest development and quickest democracy of ours. Therefore, the permanent, long-lasting peace and stability in Africa must return and maintained in top gear. Returning Africa into the greatest and strongest ground of the quickest democracy is Barafinda's main agenda and the General R2UDA members. And this shall be easy to learn, to go with, to live with, stay with, to work with, and enjoy, and never to separate until for further notice of God. This shall ever be the main agenda of all the citizens of Africa, removing all the stumbling blocks, so-called the internal colonial borders. And Africa must be free from colonial borders. We have two colonialists. We have the African colonialists who have created the internal their colonial borders, limiting citizens from moving from one place to another, earning a living. But for them, they just move like winds from hither and yon. They always in planes flying hither and yon, seeking for financial assistance and extra assistances. But when they see some citizens look for certain assistances elsewhere, they don't need it. They just call citizens that they are enemies of the state, and moreover it is not. So that politics is seriously sick and lacking the serious doctor to treat the owner and that politics. Therefore, we the rulers, turning and making Africa the capital city of entire world of ours is the main agenda. Then making Rwanda the capital city of Africa due to 200 good many causes also is the general agenda of the R2UDA. RUDA is Rwanda Revolutionary United Democratic Advances, the peaceful political party all over the world, but basing here in Rwanda, forming and creating the continental USA to bank and making working systems is our main agenda. Forming the strongest USA2 super copper money. Also, this one is our main top agenda and the top gear to advance in all by all means. So, leadership brought by the RUDA president is the best and qualitative leadership since the creation of this world. This leadership gonna be the good example to all the leadership that existed in Africa and the entire world, to ensure African unity, the quickest democracy, development, and lasting peace and love amongst all Africans equally, without any segregation in our whole USA too. This is our main agenda. We the democrats, democratic leaders basing here in Africa, so-called the Thousand Hills, our mother country Rwanda, the continental USA too, doctrine to avoid the internal civil wars and diplomatic aggressions towards each of 55 countries of Africa and others globally. Here I mean panic wars. So God shall not allow anything like panic wars. Whoever who will start to create such a barrier, God shall make solution and resolutions against him or upon him or her. Therefore, enough is enough. The people have been causing insecurity into all the locations of the world. All people have been massacred and others have been massacring their neighbors, the knowns and unknown ones. Therefore, God is going to make solution and resolution upon those people. Therefore, people should not die because of their languages. People should not die because of their wealth in resources and sources of them. People should not be killed because of their qualitative education, because they are highly educated. That is a crime against humanity. People should not be killed because of internal colonial borders between two states. People should not die because of different cultures and different ideologies upon certain points they disagree upon. Killing must be forbidden all over the world, in all world societies. Therefore, let us all together teach people to work for agricultural purpose increment so that we can boost our industries for quality processing and food production increment hither and yon for our children and ourselves. Therefore, once upon a time, people used to misbehave, but God used to make solution and resolution. One day, one time, once upon time, again. People used to cut out homosexual and as abuses, but all those annoyed God and ordered Noah to make his building to welcome everybody join the race for survival. But the floods occupied all the world places until the building of Noah hanged itself onto the mountain Himalayas in India. Because of the outcome of the people of those days, they used to misbehave and respected God to the extent that God made his own solution and resolutions, which were tougher than ever in the history of mankind. Therefore, time also has repeated itself, and this is the period where history has come to repeat itself once again. God has warned people several times but could not pay him attention, could not lend him their ears. They just paid him deaf ears. Therefore, God has taken the decisive decision on 5th August 2018. God put in the sky the big signal and indicator and the big sign showing and indicating that is coming. We don't know whether is still in the corner or has covered the corner coming, but what we know, his coming and his presence upon these people is must. The missing of God isn't possible, but his coming is very possible in 24/7. You all my world people ever stay tuned and be standby class 1. Whatever you don't know can take place because of God's power, and God is coming, and God is orderliness. Therefore, this is the most politician Barafinda SEKIKUBO Fred, the very important one. The senior politician with total seniority. The senior grammarian all over the world. The ring leader of R2UDA. This is the legal representative and founder in internal affairs and external affairs. Therefore, all my world people, the greatest day of the international people, to think and rethink and sit and rethink and ponder and reponder once and for all. Barafinda is the greatest ring leader of USA to 55 states in this 21st century. And this 21st century is going to make the beginning of the ending of the dictators. Arms race, tension cases, and this shall cause all the superpowers to conflict themselves and fight against one another. World prison is gonna be demolished, and imprisonments of different people innocently is going to raise and organize its increment. But God has organized the people to demolish all of those kind of businesses, wherever they shall be, only to be replaced by the most gainful university of understanding, going to be brought by God himself in community servicing, in a new modern infrastructure that up to now people have not known, and to change the bad into good. To change the bad into good discipline, culture, and good positive judgment, to avoid oral industry manufacturing injustices. That is the new order of the new world order of a human being. All places, areas, and location regions in the world, North Africa, Eastern Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa, Central Africa, SADC, in all 55 USA states, USA 2 states, you must all sit and rethink once again. Never think of attacking one another. Any attack on any of our USA 2 countries, members, would be regarded or taken as an attack directly of all of them at once in 55. Therefore, the combined forces together like the upper teeth and the bottom teeth shall work hand in hand to engulf all of those ones who will have misbehaved and mischieved. Therefore, God shall not give mercy to those ones who decided to kill the innocent people innocently or innocently. Therefore, they must give the total liberty to all the world citizens without any cost. The only leadership mandate of 5 years without going beyond it to avoid any dictatorship in Africa is our main agenda with the rulers. And the wonderful thing, to raise only a single international ruler flag to represent all the world flags is our main agenda. And that one must be the God's orderliness in order to ensure the quickest unity, quickest democracy, development, and lasting peace and love. Because we have lost for a long period amongst all the Africans and the entire world people equally, without any segregation is in our whole USA too and the entire world. Thank you very much indeed, all my world people. So we shall talk and discuss matters on equal terms in the future time to come. Call me the Barafinda SEKIKUBO Fred, the RWANDA president. Find us at our web page www.rwda.tk. Therefore, you will also call us at plus 250 78 34 28 622. This is the professor of the world professors, Barafinda SEKIKUBO Fred, the senior politician with the total seniority. globally. Therefore, let us all together work hand in hand for total security and general security for the world population. Therefore, thank you very much indeed for all you are doing in the lineage of God's demand and needs. Thank you very much indeed.